Blackout, they don't know how strong and how really the Jewish community, especially the religious community, is in opposition to Zionism. If you would just, let's say, look at a picture of a demonstration, it says on 1993, a demonstration in Jerusalem. Thousands and thousands of people, thousands as far as your eye can see, tens of thousands, they have hundreds of thousands. And here you have in Bnei Brak a demonstration. Again, as far as your eye can see, demonstrating. It's all totally anti-Zionist over there in Bnei Brak. You have, on every occasion, like this is a book we compiled that has demonstrations and letters and articles of the Jewish people standing in opposition to Zionism, documents. It is a tremendous. This is just a drop of what there is. Just one of many. We had actually a year ago. We had this large demonstration that the police gave us an estimate, I think, of 30 to 40,000. We had much more demonstrating against Zionism in New York. We have. So the question is why you don't know about that. The answer to that is something which is called Media Blackout, which is basically that I've lived with personally. Here, this is in Madison Square Garden. I don't remember the date of this. You have a demonstration. We have in New York, like I say, constantly we have on every occasion we have these large, very large demonstrations, and there's a media blackout. What does a media blackout mean? I'll explain what it means. It means that when they'll make a demonstration against the Palestinian mission of 50 people to 100 people, and maybe even less, they'll have covered in all the television stations. They'll have it covered on all the newspapers. And yet, when we will go out, which we just, like I gave this last year, we went out with between 30 and 40,000 police estimate. We had more. And yet, the New York Times didn't mention it. The Post didn't mention it. The Daily News didn't mention it. None of them mentioned this. Why? What is going on here? And don't think that they didn't know about it or they weren't there. We have many times long interviews. And yet it would never reach it would never reach the print. It's just mind-boggling. It just doesn't we can't understand. The reason is because the Zionists have it down pat. They have the politicians they have under their hands with AIPAC. When a politician will try to show support or listen to what we have to say as representatives of Judaism, and that we do not want their support or whatever of the Zionist state or so forth, they'll know if they'll speak out, they will be destroying themselves or committing suicide politically because of AIPAC. The same thing they have with media control. They have a whole system of threatening, boycotting the newspapers, and they have people that watch. If there's they'll constantly complain that the papers are too one-sided for the Palestinian issue or something, and therefore they're very fearful, the papers, of printing anything that would be against the Zionist interest, because then they'll right away be attacked,